What if the ocean suddenly drained away? One morning, the unthinkable happens. You walk to the shore, and there is no sea. The waves are gone. The horizon has collapsed. The vast blue that has cradled life for billions of years has disappeared. The oceans of Earth drained away. What happens next is not just disaster, it is the end of the world we thought we knew. Introduction to the scenario. For as long as Earth has existed, the oceans have been its heartbeat. Covering more than 70% of the planet, they are our cradle, our climate regulator, our source of life. But imagine, tomorrow morning they are gone. Not gradually, not over centuries, instantly. The oceans vanish, pulled into some abyss, drained through an impossible rift, or stolen by forces unknown. This is not just a thought experiment. It is a question of survival. Because if the oceans disappeared, humanity would face a chain reaction of devastation unlike anything in history. The nature of the change. First, the geography of the planet itself. The seafloors would rise into view, mountain ranges taller than the Himalayas, canyons deeper than the Grand Canyon. The scars of Earth's shifting crust exposed for the first time. The vast abyss of the Mariana Trench would lie dry and silent, a chasm 11 kilometers deep. Continental shelves would stretch for hundreds of miles, barren and cracked. And across the world, coastlines would collapse into emptiness. The air would be filled with the stench of death. Billions of fish, whales, and plankton, the very foundation of the food chain, stranded in the sun, rotting. But the landscape would only be the beginning. The scientific context. The oceans are not just water. They are Earth's lungs, Earth's thermostat, Earth's shield. They absorb 90% of the planet's excess heat. They generate more than half of the oxygen we breathe, produced by microscopic phytoplankton drifting in the waves. They drive the great currents that move energy around the globe, balancing climates and stabilizing weather. Take them away, and Earth changes in an instant. Cause and effect sequence. Step 1. Atmospheric collapse. Without oceans, the cycle of evaporation and rainfall shatters. Storms cease. Rainfall ends. Within weeks, the world begins to dry. Step 2. Climate catastrophe. The oceans are the great buffer of heat. Without them, temperatures swing violently. Days scorch. Nights freeze. The climate becomes chaotic, unstable, deadly. Step 3. Mass extinction. Life collapses at the base. Plankton gone, fish gone, whales gone, and with them, every predator that depends on the sea. Humanity starves. Billions rely on the ocean for food. Entire nations collapse in famine. Step 4. Economic and political collapse. Shipping, fishing, coastal cities, entire global systems vanish overnight. Ports become deserts. Naval fleets rest on cracked seabeds. Nations turn inward, fighting for dwindling resources. Step 5. Atmospheric breakdown. Without oceans producing oxygen, levels in the air begin to fall. Slowly but steadily, breathing becomes harder. Fires spread more easily. Earth, the blue planet, becomes unrecognizable. Historical and natural comparison in history, smaller versions of this nightmare have unfolded. 55 million years ago, during the Paleocene-Eocene thermal maximum, oceans warmed, acidified, and life nearly collapsed. 66 million years ago, when the asteroid struck and killed the dinosaurs, it triggered tsunamis that tore oceans apart. And in human memory, disasters like the Aral Sea remind us what happens when water vanishes. Once the fourth largest lake in the world, now reduced to dust and poison. But these were fragments, local disasters. The vanishing of the oceans would be global, total, permanent. The deeper consequences. Consider the psychology. For millennia, the ocean has been humanity's metaphor for the infinite. Poets, explorers, dreamers, all drew from its mystery. Without it, the world feels smaller. The horizon shrinks. The symbol of the unknown vanishes. The very spirit of exploration dies. And the Earth, stripped of its oceans, would look alien. Not the blue planet, but a cracked sphere of rock and dust. A second Mars, barren and lifeless. The final collapse. As decades pass, Earth would dry further, deserts would spread, forests would burn, ice caps would melt, but with no oceans to receive the water, it would vanish into the atmosphere, lost to space. Rivers would shrink to nothing. Rain would become a memory. Civilizations would retreat underground, clinging to hidden reservoirs. And eventually, the air itself would thin. The biosphere would collapse. Earth, once alive, would fall silent, not with a bang, but with a dry whisper of dust. The bigger picture. The oceans are not just part of Earth. They are Earth. They cradle its history. They sustain its present. They guard its future. To lose them is to lose ourselves.